right, good morning. It is March 14th, 2024 at 9:07 a.m. We are here for the intent to bargain on the vehicle monitoring system. I am Nikki Powell, interim HR director.
Wes Moreno, County Administrator.
Tyler Davidson, Deputy Director of Public Works Fleet Maintenance.
Janice Floyd, Interim Deputy Director, Human Resources.
Debbie Bowers, Assistant County Administrator.
Tamika Williams, Business Operations Manager.
Chad Stimmel, IAP President.
Emily Stevens, IAP Treasurer.
Diamond Melvin, IAP Secretary.
Dick Anderson, IAP Negotiator.
Michael Morosco, IAP National Representative. So good morning, thank you for meeting with us, except I just have one question right off the bat. Where's EMS leadership? I mean, honestly, this is about EMS, this is about the drive cams, and EMS leadership doesn't even show up to this.
I don't know much about it. I got my expert right here.
EMS leadership doesn't know much about the drive cams,
They
which...
know about the drive cams, they know about them, they don't know about the inner workings of them. So what are your questions?
Okay, well, the question is, how are we going to come to an agreement where this covers the impacts that the drive cams offer, like discipline and other items that are mandatory subjects of bargaining?
You got people here that can address that.
Okay. So let's start with the RFI. We did an RFI request, and so my understanding is, I'm sorry, Tyler, right?
Yes, sir.
My name's Michael. Your fleet maintenance. So my understanding is now that the trucks have two different systems in them: a safety vision camera and a Samsara GPS tracking. Is this correct?
I'm not familiar with the camera, but that's not fleet related to us. But yes, the GPS, Samsara.
GPS is okay.
Yes.
So
The cameras, from my understanding, were installed way back. It
Yeah,
was
12 years,
The 2012 policy from Caustic.
12 years that, and there's no policy that covers Samsara, I'm assuming, because nothing was provided, even though it was asked for in an RFI.
We have a GPS policy that's countywide.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a vehicle policy that I sent separate from the public records request.
Okay. This one, the 2012 Pat Costic.
No, I sent you a separate email when I noticed that the vehicle policy was not included in the public records request. Didn't appear that it was asked for, but it is what covers the GPS
Okay.
system. So all policies would have been sent to the
That's not
union
there, so-
whenever they were approved,
Okay.
or before they were approved.
Right. So the issue that we're having here is we feel that the GPS is being used in manners that are not concurrent with what it should be used. We understand that there are items that you need to investigate and use the GPS for, yet currently we're pulling stuff up from November, December, months ago, and then coming up with we had a complaint. Nobody's seeing a complaint. In the RFI, I even asked under number 5, any and all disciplinary actions issued using an event from a vehicle monitoring system and issued within the last 6 months. The answer I get back is 3 people have been disciplined in the last 6 months. Okay, great. Where GPS was used to confirm what was being alleged. 2 out of 3 of the public called in were used to confirm it wasn't you guys. Great. Yet you didn't provide the disciplinary actions, so we couldn't even review those to prepare for this meeting. And then I get this definitely I'm pissed off answer that follows with the no one is just sitting around watching the GPS screen on a regular basis. That is not what we do or how we use the GPS. 15 times in the last 6 months, the GPS has been used to prove that it was not the county that was driving inappropriately. We don't disagree with that at all, trust me. I like it for our people too, because it does help get the truth out on what happened. However, what we don't like is there's no guidelines on how it's being used for discipline. There's no guidelines on when it can and cannot be used, how far back you can go, when you can actually access it. We have supervisors telling and showing and telling how they can access it in live time and watch, but then I'm being told it doesn't happen. So,
Yeah, it does happen. I mean, I can access it today. Pull up the vehicle, see where it's at. I can watch the move. I can pull up an asset, go back 2 weeks and see the track, how everywhere they went, where they stopped. Yeah, it has that capability.
so what we would like to do is set up some guidelines that manage the discipline and use of the cameras and how it's being monitored on a day-to-day basis. We don't believe that it should be allowed to go back, 3, 4, 5 months to write somebody up for something that may be even minor.
For discipline, and I could find the separate policy, but we could go back 2 years.
to build off of or for
We don't typically
investigatory?
go back 2 years, but we are allowed within our policies and guidelines to go back 2 years.
Is that to start an investigation from 2 years ago, or is that to use discipline from 2 years ago? Because I totally understand,
Yeah.
if you're building progressive discipline and you're like, oh, this person's got 9 write-ups from 2 years ago, 100%, I get that. But if you're starting an investigation like, hey, I ran a stop sign in 2022, and now all of a sudden it's January of 2024, and Westfield's like going back and writing me up for it.
It's not being.
There are no guidelines
It's
on
not
that.
being used.
But it can be used like that.
It's not being used.
It's been used
How do we
for-
know it's not gonna be used like that? If there's no guidelines that say it's not, we just take your word for it?
Listen, the GPS is a board issue. It's not going away.
No,
We
I'm
didn't
not
say it was
asking it
going
to go away.
We didn't say it was going away.
I've used it recently, not just for EMS, for some other areas as well.
Well, I'm not worried about
Where I
that.
did go back. Well, I don't care what you're worried about.
That's fine.
I'm just telling you what it is. You know, I'll use it when I need to use it. And it's a supervisory tool, it's in our toolbox, and we'll use it. Sometimes it works for the benefit of the employees, sometimes it doesn't. Nobody's trying to go put a hammer on anybody, but if we get.
We do not believe that that is the case.
Pardon me.
We do not believe that that is the case.
Well, you believe what you want to believe.
All right.
So I just want to be clear here. We're not asking for the GPS to go away. That's not in any way, shape, or form what we want. It is absolutely valuable. It's something that we need. We're asking for us to sit down and come up with some sort of,
Even a new policy that we work
Frame of
together on.
reference.
This is 12 years old. The technology probably doesn't even exist from when these cameras were installed. Are you able to update them?
Mike, let me make a suggestion. Since you drafted a
Yeah.
proposed memorandum of understanding, why don't you send them the memorandum of understanding, caucus, they can look it over and see what in our proposed memorandum of understanding you find acceptable and what we need to work on.
Sure.
Want caucus? Or do we want to end this
What?
meeting and we'll send it for?
Well, let's caucus, why don't you send it to them,
Okay, yeah,
okay?
I'll do
And we'll caucus, and then if they need more time to figure out a response, then
Okay.
we'll end this, and we'll come back this afternoon for negotiations.
Great. So we're gonna caucus. Do you have a conference room for us that we were able to use?
Yeah, the same one from
Same
last
one.
time?
Okay, all right,
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
When we get to the caucus room, you'll email.
Yep, absolutely. I'll email.
Okay, all right.
Email it,
Yeah.
okay. All right, we are back from caucus, and Public Safety Director Gilmore and Chief Torcell had other matters to attend to this morning. They did not introduce themselves. I just want to
Yep.
put it on record that they're here.
So appreciate your input. We read through them on you. I do have concern that we have a countywide policy that governs the GPS use countywide for all departments and divisions. And I just don't feel it necessary to set a certain group aside to do something different. So we plan on just buying by candidate.
So you're just saying, no, you're not gonna offer?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep.
So we'll go ahead and close, and we will see you guys at 12.
Yes.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
Did you get the,
I
proposal?
did.
Okay.
I did, thank you.
Perfect. That's it.